What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome on into the Jets Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and the Jets ended up losing their Week 2 matchup to the Buffalo Bills 30-10, and honestly, the score looks a lot closer than the game actually does. And also the Jets, we got some major injury news to discuss today on Jermaine Johnson, Tony Adams, and actually quarterback Justin Fields. He left the game late, and it is confirmed he has a concussion. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the game and just overall talk about a lot of the Jets' issues that we're definitely seeing today on the football field. But before we dive into it, if you guys could hit that subscribe button today. We're closing in here on 10,000 subscribers. We're at 9,472 right now. So if you guys could hit that subscribe button today. We post a video around the New York Jets every single day. We also go live for most of the games. So if you guys want more Jets content in your life, even though this loss stinks, you still got a chance to bounce back. 2 big-time football games in Miami versus the Buccaneers and the Dolphins. So, hey, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button today, and let's dive into it. So, Justin Fields today, not good. And this is correct, his passing stats here on today. 3 of 11, 27 yards. You didn't really give him too much of an opportunity, and just confirming these, because this seems almost unbelievable here from Justin Fields. I mean, no, they didn't really give him a chance, and yeah, he was 3 of 11 for 27 yards, but he left that game late with a concussion, and, not going to speculate too much on him playing next week against the Buccaneers, but it's probably a 50-50 call right now. If he can go through protocol, he'll be back out there. But, the Jets offense today just couldn't get anything going. And it started with Justin Fields. Like, he sailed that first third down ball to Garrett Wilson on the first drive of the game. He was wide open. He completes that pass. You're in Bills territory, and at least this offense is going a little bit. But Fields struggled this entire game. Now, I do want to retouch on Fields here in just a second, but quickly, 2 other injury notes for you guys. Jermaine Johnson did leave the game with an ankle injury, so we'll get you guys updates throughout the week. I'm hoping he'll be all right, but definitely something to look at. And Tony Adams also left this game with a groin injury. For Tony Adams' sake, probably shouldn't see the football field again. I think this is going to be Malachi Moore taking in for his spot. But I do want to go back to Justin Fields here. So, Justin Fields today, I've made this comparison a whole lot. He feels like a streaky shooter in basketball, where if Fields sees his first couple of three-pointers go in, he's catching and shooting, he's feeling good, he can get hot for the rest of the game. But also on the opposite end of the spectrum, if his first couple of passes are incomplete, he can just kind of get himself into a rut, and sometimes it'll be tough to pull himself out of it. Because I think it is, so telling when evaluating the quarterback position. How are you playing when everything's going wrong? How do you bounce back? When you're not on script, when you have no flow in the game, how do you respond? The Jets offense didn't today. And also, I got to call out Tanner Engstrad because he was unbelievable last week. We were giving him his flowers. The Jets were number 1 in EPA per play. They were looking good. They were moving the ball at a high level. But then today, the one play call that drove me absolutely mad, the Jets pick up 2 quick first downs. I believe it was a Breece Hall run, and then I think it was Justin Fields over the middle of the field to Garrett Wilson. So he finally started to get some momentum, and then he pulls out a trick play to Arian Smith, and it goes nowhere. And it was a 10-yard loss. Like, then it's 2nd and 20, drives dead. And that's been the kind of theme of today's game versus the Bills. Just drive killers. Like, the amount of times that the Jets had something going, or even just to start the drive, it would be, either a missed throw, a bad penalty, or you just could not run the football, and that was also on display today. The Jets couldn't get any push up front. Breece Hall, 10 carries, 29 yards. I didn't even feel like Breece Hall had a bad day running the football. He just had no lanes. And, the offensive line getting so much love from what they did last week, which they deserved it. But now this week versus the Buffalo Bills, they got their ass handed to them up front without Ed Oliver. But I also will say this to kind of calm nerves for Jets fans. You're going against the Bills. I understand we wanted to label this as a trap game, an emotional letdown spot. But this team is trying to get the number 1 seed in the AFC. They got Super Bowl aspirations. Every game for them is a must-win game because they want to go out there and win 15, 16 games, have that number 1 seed locked up, then you got 2 weeks off before the first playoff game. That's what their goal is, and they brought it today. And they answered. And we said, if you, beat yourself, if you, can't convert when the Bills give you opportunities, you're going to lose this game by 20, and that's what happened. Or even on the first defensive drive of the game, it's 3rd and 8. Josh Allen scrambles for 40 yards. You can say, okay, he just put on the Superman cape. He is that type of player. But then we had Michael Clemens, 3rd and 19. a brutal roughing the passer call. That can't happen against the Buffalo Bills. They're too good to do that. So I think it was also a combination of the Jets just not executing offensively, especially early in this game, but also the Jets defense just letting them off the hook. Like, I actually will say the Jets front seven, they continue to impress me. Like, Quinnen Williams had another monster game. Like, he was still playing his tail off. Sauce Gardner struggled a little bit in coverage, but I felt like he did enough. But the guys up front did their job. Like, even though if you look at the stat sheet, they probably gave up, over 200 yards on the ground, but I still felt like that was the main reason because they were just on the football field that entire time. So I think the biggest reason why the Jets lost, probably two, you just got to tip your cap to the Buffalo Bills, but then also you kept on shooting yourselves in the foot. The offense couldn't get going. So I'll ask you guys this. Why did the Jets lose? I think there's a lot of answers to this question. For me, it was the self-inflicting penalties. It was them just, not being able to get anything going offensively. And, I am disappointed in Engstrand. He couldn't find his way to get his quarterback in rhythm. And he'll learn from that. This whole new coaching staff will learn from it. There's a lot of stuff to kind of, pick up on in this game. But I'll ask you guys this. Grade the Jets' performance versus the Buffalo Bills. I got to give them a D-. It wasn't fully an F game, but it was damn near that. They just didn't play their best football. So I'll go D- there. But you guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Just not good enough today. Not even close to good enough. And you had an opportunity. That door was open a little bit, and you could not capitalize. So you guys could grade the Jets' performance versus Buffalo. And we'll dive into more here around, Justin Fields and this offense and, talk about Josh Allen. But quickly, I do want to give a massive shout-out to our sponsor today, and they actually have a sweet deal going on. If you guys head over to chatsports.com/Jets hoodies, click that link in the comment section and description of today's show. You guys can find this sweet New York Jets hoodie on sale right now. So click that link, comment section, description of today's show, chatsports.com/Jets hoodies. Now, Josh Allen, the stat sheet's not going to blow you away, but again, they didn't really ask him to do too much. Like, they were running the football very effectively, 14 of 25, 148. But again, when it was 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, it just felt like the Bills just kept going to like a mesh concept, these crossing routes, and the Jets just couldn't stay in front. He was deadly accurate today. He played great football, and he's just a tough guy to stop. Like, I've been saying this. I think Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are two of the best quarterbacks that have ever played in the NFL. And you caught a guy when he was feeling it. Like, that 40-yard rush on that first drive of the game just got him going. He was settled in. He probably felt like a man amongst boys there. But he did just enough and more than enough for the Bills to have a comfortable win. But the guy who really killed him, and got to give a shout-out to producer Dylan. He said this guy was going to scare him today, and now he's scaring the shit out of me moving forward. James Cook just dominated you on the ground. And if the Bills really wanted to assert themselves and run up the numbers here, he could have ran for 150, 175. But 21 carries, 132 yards, 6.3 yards per carry, had that unbelievable 40-yard rushing touchdown. I will give credit to James Cook. I felt like he set up his blocks very well today, which was, a fantastic performance from him on the ground. But, the linebackers got to be better. The push up front I thought was good. It just, you got to a point in that game where it was just like you were asking the defense just to do too much. And then the Bills, like, their receiving core, they just had a bunch of guys pile in for, some key big time plays. Like Dalton Kincaid, he had a clutch first down on a 3rd and long situation. And also he just kept on finding the tight ends in the flats. They were just back-breaking give-ups for this Jets team. But, he had 37 yards through the air. Even had, like, just these random guys like Khalil Shakir. He was pretty quiet today, but he had a clutch 3rd down late. 1 catch, 12 yards. Even Palmer had a pretty big game for them. Keon Coleman, 3 catches, 26 yards. He did just enough. And then Josh Palmer, the deep threat, 2 catches, 47 yards. Even Elijah Moore found the end zone one time on a little rushing play outside a big-time play down the field for a 31-yard gain. So, Jets defense wasn't good enough today. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But hopefully the Jets bounce back. Big-time games in Florida the next 2 weeks. Again, just the process wasn't good enough. The execution wasn't good enough. You shot yourself in the foot. You just didn't do enough to, win this game here. So if you guys made it to the end, you guys are a diehard Jets fan, just give me a Jets down below in the comments section. Got to stay optimistic. This is a new regime. You're going up against a true Super Bowl favorite. Like, not just the Super Bowl contender. You're going up against the favorite. And they just hand it to you at home. So hopefully they bounce back. We'll see you guys next time. As always, go Jets.